At ABC 10, we stand for you. We're following up on a story that we told you about last night. We told you how 10-digit dialing is now required as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to a 3-digit code. Well, the regional organization that's been taking those calls locally says they had more than 65,000 calls in a 12-month period after the pandemic started. And ABC 10's Lena Howland is going deeper with WellSpace Health tonight on why they're now expecting those calls to triple by next year.
As light rails go by, cyclists, cars, and people make their way through a busy intersection and back into their daily routines, 19 months after a pandemic first flipped everyone's lives upside down.
And when we have a sudden change in our identity like that, it can make us question our life.
But in that brick building that so many Sacramentans race by without blinking twice is someone waiting on the other side of the phone. A lifeline.
Really what's important is that you're calling someone who is there in that dark space. They're willing to pick up the phone.
Home to WellSpace Health, which answers every local call made to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
We are the default in about 50 counties.
CEO Dr. Jonathan Porteous says once the pandemic hit, their calls skyrocketed by 40% just from March to April in 2020, taking 65,000 calls in a 12-month window.
Yes, there's been increased stress and increased suicidal thinking and ideation across the board, but the act of suicide, the dying by suicide is the one place where it's actually gone up is with teenagers.
But lately, calls have also been coming from people in crisis as they're coming out of isolation.
They're having to reintegrate into society. They're having to learn how to be around other people. In a lot of cases, they're having to learn to be around people that may cause additional stress in their life.
Over the weekend, counties in 35 states had to make 10-digit dialing mandatory. That's because in July, people in crisis will be able to call the 3-digit code 988 to reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
That sacrifice truly is saving lives because we are expecting a 3-fold increase in calls to the crisis centers.
And remember, there's always help. Write down the number you see right here on your screen for yourself or a friend who may be struggling.